Yeah.
Hi, folks. Here we are. Top 10. Finally here. I'm so excited. Finally here. Yes, I do know what your top three are. I know for sure. Looking at the games again, I know where one of them is. I'm just surprised it's this high. I guess I shouldn't be because I thought it was a top 20 game, but now I know of another one that's in there, so I'm up in the ante back up to four. But yeah, I am surprised that a lot of my games got sniped. I should have. There's three I know. I know for certain. That I knew from the very beginning, and one I've had to add because I didn't see it in the last one. So I must be forgetting a lot of games. So that's okay here. Now, out of the 10 folks, we have to get five crossover. I don't know. I don't know. Let me see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. This could be tough.
5 of mine are Queen games, so I'll give you that.
Oh, there
Like
may be some. Okay. What's number 10? Go ahead. Give it to me.
number 10 is Room 25. This game is an excellent thematic game if you're familiar with the movie Cube.
Yep.
It incorporates actually the traps from all of them, even the later ones, which is awesome. I like the films a lot. It's what Saw was based off of, if you didn't know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
essentially,
Yeah.
you
Cube's a
have
great movie.
oh, it is. So you have a 5 by 5 cube of tiles. And what you're doing is you're using your actions, which you only get to select two actions you can do for a round. So you are determining which is more important. Do you want to go blindly on a tile? Because if it's a trap, you could potentially die and the game ends. Because you all want to try to make it out.
Yeah.
And while you're doing so, you can choose to peek at one and then move into it afterwards, but while you're doing that, the tiles can actually rotate when you get towards the end of the game. It'll start to slide them, and it throws everything off, which is great. I love that. And one of my favorite games to do solo. In fact, it is my number one game that I would play. Number two game I would play solo,
Oh.
just because the way that they have the AI built for the game is just excellent. There's a lot of thinky to the game, which I really like. Each character is extremely unique. They have their own abilities. One of the larger characters can like carry another person, so that can also help lead you towards victory. It's an excellent game. Again, if you love that film, then this is definitely a game to look at. If you're a horror fan alike, this should be on your list. It's awesome. Saw traps, for Christ's sake. What else do you want? Heck yeah.
Yeah. This is one that where is this? Yeah, this is one that I love the movie. So I need to try it out. I did not know that your love for this one ran so deep, though, sir.
It'd be
So
deep though.
that's say what?
I said it'd be deep though.
Yes, 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 it is. All right, so what is my number 10? My number 10, been in my collection for 5 years now. Started off at number 36 and has never been outside the top 10 since. It was number 7, then 6. It was 4 last year. Number 4. It moves all the way down to number 10, but stays in the top 10. Empires,
Oh,
Age of Discovery.
I got scared.
What a worker placement game where you have different workers that you're placing across the board that can do sometimes different actions that you're trying. It's a little bit of area control, a little bit of set collection, a little bit of engine building too. Ooh, this game has it all from Eagle Griffin Games. It even has metal coins instead of but even though the plastic coins are really nice, it carries the ships from Francis Drake. They kind of reprinted those ships again. But everything about the game is just beautiful. I love playing this game. Tons of strategies. We did play. I want to say we played this. It was What was the other one? Oh, Galactic Rebellion, which is kind of the same thing, just rethemed as a space theme. And the artwork isn't there. The game is a little bit cut and dry, a little bit lazier than Empire's Age of Discovery, even though the tweaks that they made to make it different are really interesting. But the artwork compared to this one is just so bad. I can't compare it anymore. Even though I did play Galactic Rebellion and I do love it, I just wish the game looked prettier and a little bit more cleaned up too. It does not have a score track. You have to add up your score, and I always hate that. What does it take just to put a little score track in there? But Age of Discovery is everything it's cracked up to be. Really nice pieces. You can get the all-in deluxe package, whatever, from Eagle Griffin Games, man. And Black Friday, they usually put this thing on sale, but oh, love it, love it, love it. All right, what is number 9?
Number 9 is going to be Campy Creatures.
No, really,
dude. Yes. So
really, I never would have thought that.
It was on my top 10 for it. I don't know when this game will leave. Maybe in the following list, because there's a lot of really good games I know are gonna kind of climb up. But this game, you have the famous monsters you like. You got the Blob, you got an alien, you got the kaiju. It's such a smart game. So each of them have abilities minus the kaiju. The kaiju has the highest value. Now what you're doing is you're trying to get in the mind of your opponents because you're trying to compete to get certain to capture certain individuals, whether or not they're hunters, they're engineers. You definitely don't want individuals who are negative points like the hunters. So you want to make sure you bid effectively so you get the better chance of getting the highest point count. So you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket and go big on a guy who may not be worth going big on. So there's that aspect of it, but there's also the aspect of getting in the mind of your opponent. So you're placing your cards face down, depending on which one you want to do. You flip it face up, and you resolve the abilities depending. For example, the Blob, you can discard any card from your hand, and it will actually gain that value. So if they end up kind of baiting you out by having a weaker card, you can choose to kind of update it depending if you want to make sure you get that value. There's cards that negate abilities, so that can also set you back if you kind of relied on having that ability. There is a card, I believe it's the Mummy, that if you play the kaiju, you automatically get to pick first, which is super crucial because normally when you play the larger number, you get to go first. There's the Alien, that if you ever beat someone out by playing a higher value, you get to pick 2 cards. There's so many smart decisions in getting in the head of your opponent to predict which one you think they're going to play. It really helps with competitive card gaming. If you guys play something like Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh, or something of that nature, it helps you really understand the mental game. This is going to really amplify that. But this game is excellent. The theme and artwork is phenomenal. And it's one of those games that hasn't disappointed for individuals who really like competitive gaming. My girl actually surprisingly liked it as well, and she isn't the biggest on heavy games. This one's just a really smart one. It's a lot of fun. Highly recommend it.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Did not know that. Did not know you loved it so much. All right. My number 9, been in my collection for 4 years. Only the first year was it not my top 10. It was number 11. And the reason I did that, because it was new, and I was like, I don't want to be cult in the new. And after that, it was like number 7, number 6. This year, it drops down a few spots to number 9. But folks, I've talked about my entire list. I've been going through all my games. I told you I don't have many Rio Grande games. I think I only have 3.
Oh.
I reviewed my other ones. They're like way down below in the top 200. Yet one of their games is the most brilliant game they've ever created. And it's so underrated. Easy worker placement with an excellent theme. Santa's Workshop.
What?
Yes.
Santa's Workshop.
Love it.
We're not even in December yet, and it's Santa's Workshop.
Well, when this comes out, it'll be December. But
yeah, Jesus.
I play this game year round. just because
There's
I love
tons
the
of them.
theme. Your elves, and you're basically going out there collecting items to build those toys there and getting those assembly tokens to build all sorts of toys. The board is excellent. I've even made my own fan expansion to this. I have blinged out some of my pieces, like the metal cubes are now metal. Coal is now metal cubes. I even have a new Santa round tracker. Ah, but as you're going around, each elf can go to school and get a different ability, meaning specific workers will have different abilities in the game. So you want to put them in different, you'll get one, he's going to be great at woodworking. One's going to be great at metal. One's going to be good at whatever. You can always, if you need to make a toy really cheap and really quick, what you do is you go get plastic. You can replace a lot of parts with plastic, but it makes the toy of lesser value. However, you do want to get those churn as many toys out, because at the end of each 3 rounds, Santa looks and sees who's completed the most toys, and he gives out some big bonuses, or could be big bonuses. So people start using them plastic cubes, and I have plastic cubes for the plastic too. The only thing that's wooden is the linen or the cloth and the wood, of course. But each meeple looks different. Each little elf meeple looks different. It's just a fun game. My wife likes playing it with me because she knows it's the only time I'll allow Christmas music outside the Christmas season. Because she said, "Can we play Christmas music?" I was like, "Well, it is a Christmas game, so why not?" So yeah, ooh, beautiful game. I've talked to the designer before. I asked, when is the expansion coming out? Because the idea is for the expansion. He goes, "Well, the game didn't do that well." I was like, no, because I just think this game is incredible. It's incredible. So I love worker placement. Santa's Workshop, my number 9.
It's one I gotta get. I did not expect you in top 10. I'm all over. It's like I don't even know you.
It's good. It's good stuff. I don't even know you. I only know 4 of your, well, 3 for sure, but I guess the 4th one. So go ahead, give me number 8.
Number 8 is, for me, the game that bumped King Domino down. That is gonna be Overboss. It is a tile placement game that has a better theme, and it has a lot more areas of strategy, that keeps exactly what I like from the simplistic standpoint that King Domino has. So with this game, it is like the whole 8-bit, or I guess if you're being more correct, I believe it would be 16-bit, where you're slowly but surely picking and building your own kind of cave and kingdom. And you get certain points by having certain tiles that are touching each other. You get certain points by having certain bosses that are next to each other, because it's a mixture between what tile is going to be there and what boss is going to be on top. So it may not correlate with that specific land tile that it's on, but that won't matter as long as you keep similar ones together. There's player abilities which amplify the game even more. There's an abundance of selections of tiles you can do, because you will not use them all in a game. You select a certain amount depending on the player count, and then you kind of mix them all in. So you constantly have different variables in different areas. You can kind of see there, those are some of the more popular ones. It's just such a smart game. The way you can utilize certain things, such as like your portals, to kind of switch out, use some of the abilities to like switch out where the bosses are, where some of the tiles are, destroy some of the tiles, because some of those tiles can hurt you and you may not have a choice. It is an amazing game, honestly. And for the same reasons I love King Domino, I love this. The only thing that would, I guess, make me play King Domino over a game like this is King Domino is easier to set up and easier to teach. I think people that are a little bit more seasoned playing like something like King Domino, for example, I would feel more comfortable bringing them into Overboss, unless they were really attached to the theme. I guess it wouldn't matter. But there's a little bit more rules and a little bit more to know. And depending on the tiles you have, there's some more advanced kind of gameplay there. But it is great. If you like tile placement, you should definitely own it. if you liked Boss Monster, I've been told it captures that same essence. So it's a
There
win-win.
you go. There you go. Wow, I totally forgot about this one, but I know you do love it. Totally forgot about that one. All right. Hey, folks, my number 8 has been in my collection for 3 years. It was number 26, then went to 13, and now it is in the top 10. It is Renegade Games' masterpiece, Raiders of the North Sea. Obviously, again, the theme we're going with here is worker placement. But in this one, not only are you placing a worker on the board and taking the action, but you're also removing a player off the board, a Viking off the board, and taking its action too. Play with the expansions. It's well worth it. Whether you're doing raids, going on mini quests, or doing all the little expansions that come with it, this game is boss. I even bought the mat for it this year. I tracked down every single promo this year. That's really where all my new games have been coming from, was promos. It was promos for this one because there's a ton of promos for this game. But this game is so much fun as you're going on raids, trying to get more powerful. But with the expansion, you're also buying beer, which is a temporary resource. Like, it gives you liquid encouragement, like a little liquid courage before you go on raids. If you need something to help you out, got the metal clinkety clink. Of course, it's got the wooden bits. Wouldn't be my game if it didn't. But the game is so much fun, and it's so simple because, again, place a worker, get the action, and then remove a worker from the board and get that action too. A lot of neat combos you're always looking for. Whenever you play something down, you're probably helping one of your neighbors too. Limited amount of fun, so no hoarding, and I really love that. You really got to plan out in detail what you want to do for this game, but just so much going on. And once you get things rolling with your Viking crew, you can be unstoppable. It's one of those things, you get more and more powerful as the game goes on and start scoring more and more points. So yeah, Raiders of the North Sea, excellent game. Every game here is excellent in my top 10.
Have you played the Viscount one? That's the only one I hadn't seen on this list.
Viscounts I have not, no.
Okay.
No, I want to play that one. I want to see that one. That one looks interesting.
You should.
Paladins I don't have.
Action.
Shipyards or whatever of the North Sea I don't have. Shipwrights of the North Sea I don't have. So they're not infallible, but I do like Raiders. I do have, I think I said Explorers and Architects. Those have been the 3 I have in my collection.
Yeah.
Great, good stuff. All right, what's number 7?
Number 7 is
still waiting for them 5 crossovers.
Number 7 is going to be the game that is going to be the best slasher board game. It is going to be the one that beat Camp Grizzly. And if you really want a thematic game, that is going to be Slashiker. I am currently... You just recently saw the review. There's no way.
I didn't know you liked it that much.
You didn't see. He didn't listen to the Final Thoughts, people.
No, I did. You love it, but you say that about a lot of games.
On this list. No, but this one grabs the theme of the slasher kind of trope way better. It does a couple things right. So one, you get to play as the killer. That alone is awesome.
How do you spell Slashiker?
/SLA. Sorry, I'm like trying to read it because my brain isn't going to process. SLASH, and there's going to be a hyphen and then ACCRE.
Okay, that's why I couldn't find. I wasn't doing that hyphenated.
But
no, I still can't find this on Board Game Geek.
No. If you type in / it should come up. Oh, you did an apostrophe. You gotta do the line.
Oh, it's a line. Oh. It's still not popping up. Okay. Keep talking about it then.
All right. Yeah, just type in /. It'll come up on BGG.
I did, and a billion games came up.
Really?
But I'll keep looking for it. There you go.
Yeah. All right, so one of the things I like again is one player can play the killer, the rest play the teenagers, which you're trying to escape. You are trying to complete your objectives to find a way to kill the killer. So the difference between something like Camp Grizzly is you're a camp counselor who's trying to escape. I don't really know any slasher board or slasher movie where they're really trying to escape. There's a point where they're trying to find out who the killer is and take him out. Sure, there's a moment where they look and they notice their tires flat and they're trapped on the island, but then it becomes a who is it and how do we get rid of them? Never has it been we just need to get out. Like there's like two people that do that and they're always the first ones dead. If you're trying to be horror correct. But this game, you are trying to work together to kill them. There's a bunch of different endings, and depending on which ones you draw, they fit together like the 5 pieces of Exodia. If you're a Yu-Gi-Oh fan, easiest way to explain it. But it is awesome. The movement's hilarious. There was a point where you have to kind of get in the head of your opponent because you'll put numbers around the board. And those are the numbers they have to go to get objective cards. And I secretly have a number on where I'm going to pop up on. So you kind of have to plan and see where you think they're going to go. So then you can pop up and try to attack them. Was a point where they were avoiding me for so much where I just went on foot and just started rolling a die and just straight trying to maul them. It is a blast. If you're looking for a thematic slasher game, this is going to be the one. And I don't think Matt was able to find it on BGG.
No, there is no image. No images on BGG, sir.
Not even mine? Oh, maybe
a slasher movie game from 2019.
Yeah, slasher movie.
Yeah,
oh
nothing.
Yeah. I need to put images up, man. That's rough.
No images. No one cares about it that much to put an image up of your game. At least it exists. I thought it only existed in your head for a minute, but
did a whole review.
That's how popular it is. There are no pictures on Board Game
It was
Geek.
on Kickstarter and it was limited.
Yeah, I'm sure it was.
Not everyone got their game because there was a lot of complications that arose.
Well, you'll have to post pictures. So by the time this airs, the people can look it up.
Yeah, bet.
Okay. All right. So my number 7, been in my collection since the very beginning, 6 years ago. It has only gone up, never gone down. It was 16, then 15, then 12, 2 years in a row, and then went up to 8. Just made my top 10 last year. Now it's number 7. You know this game. It got a reprint, though it sucks. Long Shot.
You're lying.
What?
Long Shot.
Yeah, Long Shot. Horse racing, baby.
Nah. There's no way this has never been a top 10, has it?
Yeah, it was the top 10 last year.
No.
Last year was a top 10. It made it up. It's always been a top 20 game for me. I love this game. Look at that. Look at them. Look at the ponies.
I need to paint mine, actually.
Moving around, I do. I would love for you to paint mine. But yeah, no, I love this game. It feels like a race. It's very easy. You're either buying a horse, betting on a horse, or playing a card. Playing cards can move horses, give you more money, have you bet on things. You can also discard, I should say, to get more money too. That's something you can do. Discard 2 cards for $5. But every turn counts. It's very simple. It's very eloquent. And even though it's the slowest race in the world because you're rolling this die and one horse is moving 1 or 3 spaces, 1, 2, or 3 spaces, but yet the game, no horse, I mean, it's luck of the roll in a way, but you're trying to bet and you're trying to use your cards to move other horses up. And as people start playing cards, if people start buying horses, you have this synergy going on with horses, meaning once they roll a certain horse, other horses will move as well. And the game really starts picking up then. And you don't know who is going to win this. I've never had the same horse win several times back to back. Every single one of these horses have placed first before. The odds are all different on some of these horses because of their abilities, I guess. But if everyone's behind, sometimes you want someone else's horse to win because if they win, They may get $100 to be coming in first, but you won because you bet more money on that horse than they did. That happened to me last time. All three of my horses placed, and I got demolished because all the players bet on my. It was a smart move. They bet on my horses more than me, and then started pushing my horses across the finish line. And before I realized, I went, "Oh wait, I only have $10 on this horse. You have 20." That's why you wanted that horse to cross over. You're making way more money than I am. So it is a great game. My wife loves this game. I remember when I bought the game, she gave me the stink face on it. She said, "Ugh, this doesn't look like a good game." And then after a while, she went, "Where did you find this game? How did you buy this game?" Because she's like, "This is amazing." She didn't think it was gonna be that good, but ended up loving the game. Everyone in my gaming group loves Long
I
Shot.
gotta play it, man. You're killing me.
Yeah. Well, now they got those chunky wooden meeples that look like garbage.
Wooden Maples. Wait,
Yeah,
no, that
they've
wasn't a
reprinted the
reprint. That
game.
was the dice game, right?
Oh, the dice. And the funny thing was, the designer told me it was coming back out. I was like, really? It was a couple years ago, but I didn't know it was a dice version. Nah, man.
Yeah.
And
I
I
don't
bought
think
the
that's
last
man.
before this thing rose up because it's kind of expensive now. But I bought the last regular copy. I remember online. I couldn't find it anywhere, but one store had a copy for retail price. I went, I'll get it,
You
and
got it
that was
sealed?
the yeah, it was brand new.
Mm.
But it was like I said, it was the last. I looked at a few of the internet, stores, and only one person had one copy left, and I bought it. This is a few years back, probably 6 years ago.
Yeah, I
So
paid
bought the last retail copy in existence.
$37, I think, for mine.
Oh
It was used.
man,
Yeah.
great game. You
Gotta
never
play.
played it?
No, I haven't.
Well, no wonder. If you would have, that would have been another crossover for us.
I believe it.
What's number 6 for you?
Number 6, a game Matt probably thought was in my top 3. A Restoration Games board game
Yep.
called Downforce.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
like
Nope.
Downforce.
This is the one that I thought was going to be in your top 20. I did not know it ranked this high for
Oh
you.
wow. Yeah, it is my favorite racing game, favorite betting game that I own that I've played. I've played a decent amount of them, but this one is just consistently one that a lot of new gamers that I play with have really enjoyed. And the big selling point, and I'll tell you this straight from the jump, I replaced all of those cars with Mario Kart pieces.
Mario Kart,
I
yeah.
don't, I don't, I don't think I'll ever go back to the other cars. I'm just straight up. It's so easy to sell Mario Kart to an individual who's playing your game than it
Well,
would be to sell them on just playing a regular racing game.
it was by me just total mistake, coincidence that they match up perfectly with the board.
Yeah.
And I have Monopoly Gamer. I have Mario Kart Monopoly Gamer. So
Mm-hmm.
I have all the race cars and the expansions for that. And yeah, my nephews and I played this one at Board Game Geek. It was a fun one. I personally like Formula D better, and so did my nephews. However, they did love Downforce. Downforce was a big hit for them.
The Wild Ride one as well, where you have ramps to go off of. You got
Yeah.
things blocking the way. I love that aspect of it as well. Just the maps are really smart. How you have to kind of how you bid on your cars, where you're using the color stripes depending on the ones you have, because you don't want to bid too much because you still got to owe it back at the end of the race. But you also don't want to bid too few because you want to win that car. And
Yeah.
there's been a few times where I let people buy my car and I just knew to bet heavy on that because I knew my cars would help push it. Because if they were confident they can move it, then I know mine will push it the rest of the way. But the game is just super smart. It's always been a really close game. Um, yeah, Downforce. It's probably also one of my most played games in my collection as well because it's been easy to get to the table.
Whoo! Look at this guy with his Downforce pick there. So there you go. I knew when I didn't see in your top 20, I figured. Hey folks, my number 6 been in my collection since the very beginning. It has always been a top 5 game. This is the lowest it's ever been on my list. It was
Yep.
number 3, then number 5, then 4, then 4, then 3 last year. It moves down 3 incredible spaces to number 6. The best pick up and
This.
deliver game. Firefly.
Oh,
Firefly. I've told you about this game.
I know. I didn't expect it to be this low.
I know. I know. It's always been in my top 5, but this year it slipped for the first time ever. And to be honest, I keep waiting for it to slip out of my top 10. But every time I play it, I love it. I love this little pick up and deliver game. It is a table hog, especially when you have all the expansions. My dream, it may not happen ever now, but I want to get I get my Twilight Imperium group to come over and just play this. Play the 9-player big epic story. By the way, I rarely win at this game because I suck at this game. Meaning I always want to build up and have the best equipment, all the best crew, all the best knickknacks and gadgets. That way I can do any job available and, always come through easily. And by the time I get all the equipment, all the upgrades, and all the crew, someone wins. I just don't win this game. It doesn't matter, though, because I have so much fun playing this game. I have so much fun. I have all the expansions for it. Like I said, if I can get that 9-player all expansion play in, like, what is this? Is this people playing it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, yeah, I'd go for that, man. I would go for that. What a fun game. Pick up and deliver. Firefly, my number 6.
Says he wants to get his Twilight Imperium group to not play Twilight Imperium. Craziest thing I've ever had.
All right, you know what? I need to see if these next 5 must cross over, or I have won.
All of them are crossing over.
Okay, we'll see. I know it's not.
Number 5 is one Matt probably also thought was number 3. Island of El Dorado.
This is one.
Love this game.
I know you do. This is one that I thought would be in there.
This is my also number 1 game that I would enjoy playing solo as well. Because I did have a blast because the thieves make it excellent experience. But it's a tile game, similar kind of tiles that you would expect in like Catan. The artwork is elegant. You have these really nice kind of 3D shrine pieces, which are like almost like wooden, but like also have like a metal bottom to it as well. It's really impressive. The component quality is off the charts. One of the few games where I'm actually very happy that it's all like has wood and stuff like that, like meeples and stuff. It looks great. The goal is you are using action points, which if you're playing the advanced mode, which I think is the way you should play it, you shouldn't roll to determine how many actions you have. You just always get 6, I believe is what it is. And you get to either move, you get to either like place a offering on the shrine. When you end up with all of your offerings on all the shrines and you end up with the one that you have to go into the cave to get, or you let someone else get it and then steal it from them, then you win the game. It has always been kind of a race to the finish kind of thing. I remember the last time I played, my girl actually won. We were all blown away because I was in line to win and she just beat me in a battle, outrolled the mess out of me, and then ran away for victory. It was so crazy. But this game is a blast. I've still yet to play with the Titans. I think that might even kind of boost it a little bit more for me. But this game is an easy game to get to the table, and I have everything for it. I adore this game. It looks great.
Wow. All right, here we go. So that's one. Oh, that wasn't the game I was looking for. Here it is. All right, so my next one, I'm not sure if you have heard of before. It's been in my top 5 forever, since the beginning, for 6 years. It was number 3 for 4 years in a row. Was number 2 last year. This is the lowest it's ever been.
Number 2 last
It was
year.
number 2 last year. It's number 5 this year. And I need to tell you about it. We need to play this game sometime. Have you heard of Spartacus?
I've never heard of this. I thought this was number 4 last time.
No, Spartacus.
Mm.
Oh my, what the original version, the original version.
Yeah, we not about
Um,
that reprint life.
look at someone's 3D. I'm kidding. Um, yeah, Spartacus
Not even the best 3D one.
is everything and anything you want it to be. It starts off as with an intrigue round where you are oh, those are nice painted ones. These are nice. Get something that's not painted. Oh, I guess they're all painted now. All right, mine aren't painted gloriously like that. But it starts off with an intrigue round where you're playing cards at one another. You're teaming up. You got to make certain alliances, and the enemy of your enemy is your friend. All of a sudden, you say, "I'll never. I hate this person." Well, then you start working together with them because someone else is winning, and you guys need to take them down. It's great. It's great. But that's not it. That's not all. Because then it goes to a bidding round, which is awesome because you need all sorts of cards. You need gladiators to win in the ring. You need slaves so you can get more money to spend during rounds. And you need equipment cards because any equipment can make the smallest the smallest gladiator that much more powerful. I'm trying to find card images here.
Mm.
But either way, though, as you're playing this epic game, then you're also bidding to be the host of the games. And then, even though you may not be one of the houses that were selected to come to the battle, um, you will place bets on who you think is going to win. And you are engaged the whole time. You're screaming and cheering. Suddenly, you start cheering for the underdog because you think the underdog is finally going to win. They can injure or even behead an opponent. They can be so powerful. Remember, even the weakest gladiator, if he has some equipment with him, he can be deadly. So I love that about the game. I love it's a physical tug of war between all the players. We got to play the dream one, 6 players. The max is 7, but we got to play 6 players one evening. It was after Twilight Imperium game. I said, "Do you guys want to play something else?" I said, "Sure." So we brought out some people had left because we had 8 at one time, but we had 6. And I said, "Let's play a Spartacus." And we played, and that 6-player Spartacus lasted just as long. Almost. I think it was like a half hour or an hour shorter or half hour shorter than Twilight Imperium. we had we had 3 people at 9 victory points each, or the 11 victory points each, and then one person at 10, and the person who ended up winning was at like 8 or 9, and he came back out of the blue and won. It was oh, it was just epic. This game is epic. I could go on and on, but I'm going to stop right there, just because I don't want to spend the whole night talking about Spartacus, even though I could. All right, so number 4 for you, sir. What is it?
Yeah, I'm glad you didn't spend the whole night talking about Spartacus because now I am. As my
Ah,
number
it's number
4
4.
is Spartacus. Heck yeah.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. All right, this is awesome. We almost got these perfectly. That's 6. That's 6. We came close, but 6. Okay, so I'll pull it back up because I think I have it here. Well, I don't have to pull it back up. What do you like about Spartacus?
I like that I got that 3D arena with the
You have
metal
a nice
coin.
arena. You have metal coins. I need to get the metal coins. I do. But I found out that I have some coins I could pirate from another game for this game. I don't think I'm going to do it. But if I needed metal coins, I do need metal coins for this game. I got the cheap, the really nice looking plastic coins. I mean, yeah, not gold,
Yeah, I had.
but the clinkety clink of the metal is
Yeah,
great.
mine are the gold version of these.
And see, those are the same type that come with Empire's Age of Discovery. Oh,
Are
oh,
they?
oh. Yeah, those are the same type coins. And so I could just pirate from that game, but I don't think there's enough for a 6-player game. But I do. I bought those little plastic pirate coins, and I've used those, which have been fine. But yeah, no, you're right. Oh, that's the other thing. If you're the host and someone gets injured, you get to
Kill
decide
him.
whether they live or die.
Nah.
Now, if they have favor, meaning if they're a champion, if you kill them, then you'll lose 1 prestige. I love that because it makes you think twice about killing a champion, which in reality, you wouldn't, back in the day, you wouldn't do that. The people were behind him. But if you really want to screw your opponent, you're like, screw it. I'm taking him down because if I don't take him out, he's going to be so impossible to beat the next time. I will lose the prestige point. Here we go.
Like
And I
the
love
Oculus.
that.
Kill
I
him.
love you can gain prestige by certain. And by the way, the cards you can play at the beginning, the intrigue phase, it never ends because there's cards you can play to get rid of one, a guard, right? You save guards like there's no that guards are something you'll never get rid of in the game. You'll always hoard a guard. You'll never cash that card in. You can always cash in your cards for coin, but you'll never cash in a guard. No one's dumb enough to cash in a guard. Those intrigue cards can be played during the auction round and during the gladiator round. You can play certain cards that are just like you can force someone into a Primus.
Yeah, the way you get rid of Theocles, who's insane, but then the promos
Theoculus.
are
Dude, when
great.
Theoculus comes out, I am going for broke. I mean, literally, I just take all my coins, I put them on the table, and when it says, what's your bid? That. Guess how much that is if you can beat me. I just shove all my coins in. I'm all in on Theoculus. I
Yeah,
won't be able to buy anything for the next 3 rounds, but it doesn't matter because Theoculus is a monster. And the only way you can kill him is in a Primus. And no one has done it against me. Now, I've only had Theoculus twice whenever we've played. And that's the thing. There's so many cards. All the same. You will not have the same gladiators, the same slaves.
you won't
I'm
get through all
so
the cards.
glad they made a huge deck with all the expansions that you can't physically go through all the cards in one game.
Mm-hmm.
That is wonderful. You go through maybe 40% of the cards in a big game. You'd go through 40%. It's just amazing.
It's so good. It's so good. And I think the other element that I like too is the whole bluffing aspect. You're trying to work together with opponents, but you don't. And while you think winning in the arena is the way you win, that's not always
No.
the way to go. In fact, I prefer to just be king of the arena because I haven't been winning this game.
Well, being a champion comes with perks. You do get 1 prestige. You move up the prestige track once. But the thing is, playing those intrigue cards can whittle away points and money from other players, give you prestige as well. You team up with people who are lower class. And the thing is, that goes well because they're so desperate, they'll team up with you with anything. But then they start getting bonuses. And suddenly you don't want to team up with them anymore because now they're a rival house with you. And I love that because it brings that because you don't want to make deals with the guys who are winning. No, you make deals with you give the bonuses to the guys. It's a it's a genius way to have a catch-up mechanism that is done by the players. You team up with the weaker ones because they're not a threat right now against the bigger houses, thereby giving them an extra advantage. Sometimes during the gladiator games, you play a card that screws the opponent who's winning because you want the small house to exceed. I've seen people are so smart, they'll put bets against the underdog. And I was like, why would you do? Do you see who they're going up against? It's like this no name, beginner level gladiator is going up against this person. What are you, crazy? And then they flip over the card and give this guy some weapons or give this other person a handicap. You're like, oh no, I'm going to lose all my money because all bets are off by then. It's just
Sitting on whether
wonderful.
they're gonna get injured, decapitated.
Yeah, one says, if you just get defeated, it can be an automatic death or whatever or something. I was like, oh, it's so bad. You get to automatically kill that gladiator. There's another one that forces you to sell a gladiator or something. I can't remember what. Oh, that's terrible. Anyway, yeah, Spartacus, solid, solid, solid. All right. So, what is my number 4? My number 4 has been in my collection for 5 years now. It's always been a top 10 game. Number 7, number 6, number 2 at one time. Was number 5 last year. Goes up one more spot. Stonemeyer Games, best ever. Viticulture. Viticulture, the game of making the vine. And what's going on with my list here? I thought I pulled this up. There it is. Viticulture. I don't even drink wine, but I love this game. This game is your quintessential worker placement game in a way for me. It is for me at least, where you're basically putting people on the board, gathering resources, doing things. You're planting a vineyard, collecting and putting in wine orders, crushing the grapes into beautiful wine and selling it across the market. You have to. I play with the metal coins. This game has to be played with the Tuscany expansion because I will not play it any other way. The other expansions, I do have the Orbiculture expansion. We played with one of the sides this year. I can't remember which one it was, but I love playing with those two. I don't always have to play with that though. The game as is super great because I played a game. I heard you could do this, and I didn't believe it was possible. I won the game without selling any wine. I mean,
Oh, what?
without fulfilling a wine contract, I should say.
Oh,
Without filling a wine contract, I won the game. I did not think that was possible, but I read that someone showed a way where he won. I was like, you can't do that. And then the last game we played, I've been trying to silently use that strategy for a while, but you need to fill wine orders. That's where you get the most points, where you can get some extra return money in. If you can plant your crops early, start harvesting, start filling out wine orders quick, you can really start. You'll get a slow start compared to everyone else who's maybe building up their equipment or their workers or whatnot. But after a while, you will be a juggernaut in creating orders because the money starts flying in. You're not hurting for money. You're making income at that point, and you start really rolling. I will never play with that strategy, even though it's a great strategy. But trying to play without selling wine by contract was, I like again, and I won. I didn't win big time. Well, I won big time. Won by about 5 points. But yeah, I was so impressed with that victory. I don't think now that some people have seen me do it, I don't think I'll get away with that again. But Viticulture, Stonemeyer Games, best game ever. My number 4. What is number 3?
what made me want to get that game too, if you haven't seen it,
Oh,
the upgraded components on
yeah.
Etsy for
Oh no,
Viticulture,
I've seen
little
those.
mini
Those are
wine
nice.
bottles.
The
That's
the platter of cheese and wine. Yeah, or
that's
with
so
the
cool.
marker. Yeah, that's a good one.
Number 3 is a game that I knew would end up on this top 10 list before I played it, but I had no idea that it would end up being this high and I would play it this much. If you know my vintage collection, you know I love Play-Doh games. NecroMolds, number 3.
No,
We made it, boy.
I
This
forgot about this one too.
this is a newer game in my collection. I love this game. By the time this video comes out, I should have my review up, hopefully. But this game is excellent. It does everything I love in Play-Doh, but really maximizes on actual strategy in a game. So it is essentially a war game, much like Warhammer meets Play-Doh. You get these caster rings, which you get to smash your opponents and leave your emblem of defeat on their monster. You are rolling dice to assign different actions on each one of your monsters. They can move, they can attack. You can use magic in order to get gems to increase your dice pool if you ever need to defend against an attack. It is awesome. The molds are excellent. They provide you with clay, which you could use Play-Doh if it ever, let's say dries out for whatever reason. The perfect seal on the containers are awesome, regardless of what I end up using later. If I ever kind of run out of the clay, I will just keep the container and put Play-Doh in it. It is so awesome. It does everything I could want. You get to fight, you get to smash, you get to Plan your
Wow.
moves ahead of time. You get to build your army depending on the amount of clay that you have. And there's some that just have more range. There's some that have more power. There's some that have more movement. And there's some you can just make an abundance of to have a really large army as opposed to a stronger army. There's so many different strategies you can take. It's great, man. It is great. Best Play-Doh game I own now.
Wow. 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 I just I cannot believe I'm embarrassed that I forgot about this game.
After
I
all
knew
the
you
time I've
liked it and
talked
I
about it.
forgot. Yeah, you did talk about that. All right. My number three, been in my collection for 3 years, always been a top 10 game, was number 9, number 7. Now it's moved up 4 spots. This is the highest it's ever been. I've played it a gazillion times this year. And it's getting a reprint. I need to check on the reprint. It is Russian Railroads.
Hmm.
I have played this one in all the expansions. This is again worker placement. So I guess I stand corrected. Viticulture isn't the best worker placement. This one is now, right now. I played German railroads, American railroads. I think I still like American railroads the best. And they're coming out with something called Ultimate Railroads that I've got to buy because it comes out with another expansion that's exclusive to the game. Boozy. But you're building up your player board, trying to push tracks, push railroad tracks across there to get more points to unlock more workers, to unlock more special abilities. All the while, you're playing on the board, trying to get more trains, get more people, double on your tracks, move up the technology tree for points. There's a lot of ways to get points in this game. The same guy who did this also made First Class, which is why I love First Class so much. I bought that after looking at this game. But yeah, there's not a bad strategy here. You really want to get your railroads moving. I played with someone, and I don't know why, but I want to help people when they're playing this game. And he made a dumb move that cost him the game. Like, I beat him by like 50 something points. And then I showed him later on how he could have beat me by 100. He unlocked his white train really early and had some good combos that could have moved his train up by about 4 spots. And on top of that, he had doubles on the track too, which means instead of getting 10 points, 40 points total, he would have gotten 80 points and beat me bad into the ground. He would have beat me over that time. Over those 2 rounds, I think he could have just killed me in points, but he didn't. So I was like, I was thinking, why wouldn't you do that? So he made a dumb move. But this is another game where, like I said, you slowly start building up points. The first round, you hardly get any. And by the 6th round, you're moving around the board. I pulled up Ultimate Railroads. It's right here. Nothing much about it. That's just the reprint. I don't think it's out right now. It comes with all the expansions plus one that I can't get my grimy little hands on, and it makes me sad face because of it. I wonder if that's it. I don't know.
Wait,
There's an Oriental.
it doesn't include it in the ultimate version, or it will?
No, the ultimate version includes a never before seen expansion, and this may be it. I don't know. I haven't seen it yet, but this one's not for sale. At least I don't think it's for sale. Oh no. Pre-orders available. Oh, it's an Asian map. Oh man. Pre-order. Well, you know what I'm doing after this? I'm going to pre-order that sucker. I love Russian railroads.
Was it always in your top 10?
It's always been in my top 10. Always. Always. All right. Number 2.
Number 2.
Number 2.
The best skirmish game I could ever want. It is another Restoration Games game. Unmatched.
I knew this one too.
Hmm.
This is the other one I knew.
This
Because
is
you love. To say that you love Unmatched is an understatement.
it is great. They have so many different kinds of characters you can play. The Battles of Legend one was kind of what they started with. You had Medusa, King Arthur, Sinbad. and Alice from like Alice in Wonderland. The abilities you get when you fight are just amazing. They fit so well thematically, and they've added so many characters since then. You got Jurassic Park and Muldoon, or the Raptors in Muldoon. You got Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You got Beowulf and Little Red Riding Hood. You have Bigfoot and Red or Robin Hood. You got Marvel characters coming out, including Deadpool, which is already out. There's so many awesome things that they're adding to the game. Dracula, Sherlock Holmes, you have, and it's a skirmish game where you're fighting. You can do 2 players or 4 players. There's gonna be a way to play 3 when the Marvel sets come out. I prefer it as a 2-player game. It's a very fast-paced strategy game where you're not only doing hand management, but you're also kind of managing and planning your movement effectively, because that will matter depending on your character. Each character has their own abilities. They fit thematically with the deck. It's an excellent game. The rules are very simplistic, but the strategies of play are extremely dynamic when you start to play with some of the more advanced characters.
It's Little
Typically,
Red Riding Hood.
what happened?
Just Little Red Riding Hood there. That's great.
Yeah, yo, she's one of my favorites. She's nice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, they reprinted
Star Wars
Star
Epic.
Wars Epic Duels, which is a great game on its own.
Mm-hmm.
And and I was happy to see that. And you have done nothing but sing this game's praises for years, and you get excited over every expansion that comes out. Every expansion,
It's super good, man.
they
I
could
think,
do an expansion with Urkel, and you'd be like, "Yes, I've always
dude,
wanted to put Steve Urkel
do
up
the
against
Urkel.
Buffy
What?
and
That's like
Raptors."
the greatest thing ever.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh, that's your number 2. All right, my number 2. You know it.
It's not
As,
bad.
as, as you have talked about Unmatched forever, there's one game I've been talking about forever. I
No, you
am
didn't put it
not
number 2. You did not put
cult
it number 2.
of the new, but unfortunately, or fortunately, this new game to my collection has risen to number 2, and I almost put it number 1. You know it. You know it. You know it. I'm so impressed with this game.
Oh
I'm
my
so
god.
impressed.
No. I
Yes.
thought this is a bad dream. Cut, cut.
Legacy game. So wonderful.
Yeah, I want to hear you play more legacy games now that you've opened your whole heart.
I just like
To,
this one.
you haven't even played other ones. See?
This is it. But this game has been twists and turns. It's been incredible. It had an incredible story. My
Dude.
whole year has been swallowed up by time stories. We played the first one. We were impressed. Stayed up till 4 in the morning to beat it. And then from then we just started playing more and more, and it just kept impressing me more and more. And I remember I'd call you after every play. It was tough to try to get finished before one of my original gaming group people left. But we played through everything that we could get our hands on, and we made it through. It's a wonderful story, plenty of surprises. The board game looks abysmal, as so generic. But I have the promos for this. I have the little clear plastic set with this, which I played with. I have played with this. My cousins did not like this, but my nephews, I mean, did not like this. But I do have another game group that I am going to walk them through all this. And probably next year, I'm going to give it a year and we're going to run through it all again just with them, because there's a lot of things that I didn't go through this round. I didn't go through that I did the first round. There's still things to be left unexplored, and I can't wait to go through it again. I am so excited. I'm going to reset the board. You know what I mean by that, so that some of these big surprises will come to them too. They've done some ingenious things with this game. Honestly, I sat here thinking, is this my number 1 game? And the only reason I did not put it number 1 is because it is new. I know this is so cult in the new
Jesus,
here, but it was supposed to be number one.
Jesus,
But
who
I said, you
even
know what?
are
I've got to
you?
make this number two because if it's still this awesome next year, it will be my number one. That is how solid a story this is.
Mark my
Really great
God,
stuff. I,
it'll
I've only
never be on
I've
his top
only made 16 videos and 9 podcasts about it. So I'm going to stop there, not talk about it any longer than I already have. I've talked it to death. But Time Stories, an amazing new game to my collection that I regret not playing sooner.
10. After next year, it won't be on your top 10 again. Remember this quote.
Oh, calling it, calling it.
Remember this
Says
quote.
it falls from the top 10. All right, we'll see. We'll
I don't
see.
even think it'll be top 20.
Woo! Strong words. Okay, so
22,
what
maybe.
is your number one?
Number one. This one was a hard one. Fireball Island.
I knew it. I knew this one. This one I could have said from the very beginning.
Tabletop Island. Fireball Island. Yeah,
Yeah.
Volcario, the homie. This yeah, this started kind of the whole wave of the channel. It's what I themed it off of. But just outside of that, I mean, I very much enjoy this game. Every time I play it, it's a great experience. I play it with everything, minus
Yeah.
the promos. I don't need any of that nonsense. But if y'all want to put me on a promo,
Oh, you
uh,
don't play with everything then, since you don't have the promo.
nobody. I don't need those promos. They don't even add. They don't add enough for me to want them.
You just don't. Oh, well, I know. If you don't like the game enough, you'll probably not get the promos. Do you play with all the expansions?
Yeah,
Yeah.
always, always.
Why wouldn't you?
For real. It makes it huge, and then people are like, but then it's too big. What? That's the craziest thing I've ever heard. It's not big enough. Give me
Yeah.
more.
Yeah, I need more. We are going to get one, I guess, next year.
I've been seeing posts that, he's been liking some stuff with it. So maybe, I'm hoping.
I'm
But
hoping
yeah,
so too. I'm with you. This is on my vintage game list because it's a reprint of a vintage game. But I will be on, and it made it pretty high on the vintage list too, if I recall. I don't have my vintage list with me, but made it pretty high on my vintage list. But yeah, Fireball Island is basically a gigantic Easter egg hunt. Is what it
you're,
feels like when you're playing it.
you're right. Except there's
Because
fireballs coming at you, and
you
then
well you go well you're going everywhere to get let me look this up real quick. Yeah, it was number three on my vintage list.
mm,
um just because I mean it's phenomenal. But the
mm-hmm.
thing is though, you're playing this game, and let me tell you, as you are playing um Fireball Island, there are so many options to do, especially with all the expansions, but even the base game, taking pictures, grabbing the lucky penny, grabbing the Volt card. You don't have to go for the gem, where in the original game you had to go for that jewel. That was the whole point. Now, I don't even know the last time I even went for the jewel. I'm going for set collection. I'm going for picture points. I'm going for several other ways to get points rather than get that jewel. And I love that they made the game that way. I love you have to stop on the danger part, so you have to wait and see if a fireball is going to get you. That's great because that's what's fun about the game is knocking people with fireballs. Bees, come on, killer bees. It doesn't get better than that.
Yeah.
Flying tigers. That's the best expansion. Now the boulder is nice too. I'm not a big fan of the snakes. Snakes they goofed up on, but I love all the expansions. I love the mini pack that came with all the little mini expansions, special abilities you get and stuff like that, the injury cards and stuff like that. I love the promos because I'm a true fan, Justin. If you're watching, I'm a true fan. Unlike this fake fan, Bernardo. I backed a Kickstarter from what was it called? Secret
Secret
Cabal,
Cabal.
because of those Fireball Island expansions. I have to get them all because I love this game. I agree with you. It's great. The app is fun too. The music's great for the app. The app that basically scatters the items for you around the item randomly. I love that.
Makes the sound effects if you play with the audio, so then like you just get bit by
Yes.
if it does that. It's so good. So
I
well
did have someone come up to me. It was actually this week. He texted me. He said that he just got the game for his son. I guess they got it at Target. They played it, and he said he is screaming with delight. He said every 30 seconds he screams. He's so excited about this game. Whenever Volcar hits fireballs, he goes, ah! Like he's so happy. I was like, yeah, I do that too.
yeah.
He went, no, he's just screaming. He's just squeaking in his chair, jumping up and down while we're playing the game. I said, that's me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what's your point?
yeah. And I told him, I said, because he's going to be my new neighbor. And I said, look, I said, I'll come by with all the expansions. He said, oh, wow. Yeah, he'd love that. I said, yeah, I'd love that.
I know.
So
You have a new game group.
I do. Well, we're thinking about it. I bet he could now that he lives kind of just down the road from me. Yeah, he would be a new gaming group buddy. But yeah, so Fireball Island, I knew it. I knew it was, but it's a good pick. It's a good pick.
I love it.
And in exchange, my number one because in 6 years, it was number two for those first 3 years, and it's been number one ever since. This is our seventh and final crossover.
Oh, I forgot this was a crossover. You're right.
This is a crossover. You named it earlier. It is my favorite game still today. Still today. Time Stories. It held off Time Stories because it is. I mean, I did have a problem picking between the two, but who can go up against Twilight Imperium? Now I've gotten to play it. Now I'll be honest. I'm blessed to have played it 3 times as of this video. Hopefully 3 more times this year. I don't know if that'll happen though now. But
Thanksgiving, you got big plans?
Well, yeah, but some of my I'll tell you later, but some of my plans for the holidays are going to be cooked now. So I know there's sometimes I won't be playing it. But oh man, mercy me. Mercy me. Just the game to end on. It's a 4X game. The expansion. This is the first year I've not played Twilight Imperium 3. Here, I'm going to just bring this down and stop this. I told you this, but this game is going the way of the buffalo. The third. Look how big this game is. Oh my gosh. Jesus. All right. This game is 3rd edition. It was played every year. Every year it's been played, except for this year. Because Prophecy of Kings expansion. The Prophecy of Kings expansion has now put this 3rd edition to rest. The 3rd edition is, I'm going to try to give it a gameplay late this year. We're going to try to play the Shards. I can't remember what it's called now. Shards of the Empire, whatever. We're trying to play a scenario in this that we never got to play. And before I give it away or sell it or something, because I've got to let it go. I do want to play that scenario. Shards of the Empire, maybe is what it's called. I can't remember now. But anyway, once we play that scenario, I'm afraid 3rd edition will be retired permanently. I mean, honestly, we played 30 when 4th edition came out. They didn't want to play 3rd edition. I mean, they didn't want to play 4th edition because it was incomplete in their mind, and in my mind, it was too. I just forced them to play it with me. So I honored their wishes, and we went back and played 3rd edition all last year. And then when the expansion came out, I said, guys, can we play 4th edition? It came out with an expansion. I went, okay. They weren't very happy, but when the expansion came out, they're like, this is great. And I was like, we've got a winner. So now I feel bad because your 3rd edition's days were being counted by the time that the new one came out. And finally, I can't wait. I really hope they do another expansion right now. I know they're giving people time to play this one. I mean, who's ever heard of an $80 expansion? $80. I'd look at a game, $80 today and go, I'm not paying that much for a game. I look at $80 for an expansion. I'm going, that's a great deal, because the base game's like 150. But is this game worth getting? Yes. If you don't have the money, pool together with your game group and buy it. And that's the best thing to do, really, because you're probably going to play it on average once a year. But we get to play it an average 4 times a year. in my group. I mean, there's definitely going to be. We've played it 3 times so far, which is why I'm thinking I can get. I know I can get 2 plays. I don't know if I can get 3, but I'm going to try my hardest to do so. But as the year's crumbling apart here, but the thing is, it's just the game to end all games, and I still love it. I will always love it. Always love this game. Hey, that's it. Thanks for coming on and doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This is
This has
fun.
been fun. This has been fun. It has been fun. Well, guys, there's my top 100 games of all time. Thank you for watching them. Thank you, Bernardo, for being a part of it again. And you know what? I don't know if I'll do this next year, but we'll see.
Say
All right, folks.